Welcome to Beyond the Field. I'm Santiago, your host for this journey into the world of sports. Today we will dive into the career of two defensive legends, Rafa Márquez and Paolo Maldini. And I'm not alone. Joining me is someone who knows the game as well as anyone, my dad. Welcome to the show, Dad.
Thank you for the invitation. I'm happy to be here.
Today we will compare their incredible careers, unique playing styles, and lasting legacies in football history. So let's get started. Let's start with Rafa Márquez, who had a career spanning over 2 decades. He began his journey with Atlas in Mexico, but his breakthrough came when he joined Barcelona in 2003. He became a key figure in their defense and one of the most reliable players for the team under coaches like Frank Rijkaard and Pep Guardiola.
Exactly. And let's not forget, Rafa was pivotal in leading Mexico's defense during 5 World Cups, an achievement that very few players can boast about. His leadership on the field was unmatched.
Absolutely. On the other hand, Paolo Maldini's career was a story of loyalty and consistency. He played over 25 seasons with Milan, starting in the youth teams and working his way up to be captain. He didn't just stay with one club, he became the face of the club.
What's even more incredible is that he played in the Serie A for 25 years and only retired in 2009. Throughout that time, he helped Milan with 7 Serie A titles and 5 UEFA Champions League trophies.
When it comes to playing style, Rafa Márquez was known for his versatility. He could operate as a central defender or a defense midfielder. And what made him stand out was his ability to read the game. He was never a defender who relied on just tackling. His intelligence and vision on the ball were what set him apart.
Exactly. Rafa was one of the few defenders who could also dictate play from back with his passing range. He had a great ability to distribute long balls and start attacks, something that was rare for a player in his position.
Now, Paolo Maldini was a master of defensive positioning. He rarely needed to slide tackle because he anticipated the game so well. His timing was impeccable. And his calmness under pressure was a huge asset to Milan and Italy.
That's right. He was always in the right place at the right time. And his leadership on the field made him a true defensive general. Even as he got older, he adapted his game and continued to perform at the highest level.
In terms of legacy, Rafa Márquez is surely one of Mexico's most iconic players. His success with Barcelona, along with his pivotal role in the Mexican national team, earned him a place among the greats. But what's really interesting is how he paved the way for the future Mexican players to succeed at the top European clubs.
That's a great point. Rafa's influence is still felt today in the likes of Irving Lozano and Edson Alvarez, who are following on his footsteps at top European clubs.
For Maldini, his legacy extends beyond the pitch. He's often regarded as one of the best defenders to ever play the game. His discipline, professionalism, and commitment to Milan set the bar generations of players that followed. Even though he retired over a decade ago, his name still carries immense weight in the football world.
Absolutely. He's an example of what it means to have a lifelong commitment to excellence. His influence on the defensive side of the game is still visible, and many of today's top defenders like Virgil van Dijk and Sergio Ramos admire his approach.
So, when we compare these two, it's clearly they were both exceptional in their own right. Rafa was a pioneer for Mexican footballers in Europe, while Maldini was the ideal example of defensive mastery. Both were natural leaders and have left lasting marks on their respective clubs and countries.
It's hard to say, who had the bigger impact because they were both influential in different ways. But one thing is certain. They both define what it means to be a true professional in football.
And there you have it. Rafa Márquez and Paolo Maldini, two football player legends whose career and styles continue to inspire. Dad, thank you so much for joining me today and sharing your insights.
It was a pleasure. I've enjoyed talking about two of the greatest defenders in football history.
And personally, I prefer the Mexican Kaiser over the Italian Witch Hunter. We would love to hear what you think. Who do you think had a bigger impact, Rafa Márquez or Paolo Maldini? Let us know in the comments or in social media. Thanks for tuning into Beyond the Field. And we will see you in the next episode.